What's going on YouTube? It's Katie from EO Fitness here, and in this video we're going to go through the Bulgarian split squat. Probably everybody's least favorite exercise. There's actually two separate ways to do the Bulgarian split squat. We can do a glute dominant or hip dominant Bulgarian split squat, or we can do a quad dominant or knee dominant Bulgarian split squat. So I will take through both of those, and I'll also show you some progressions to get into the Bulgarian split squat, because this is a really tough, really advanced movement, and we may not be ready to just jump right into it at first, and that's okay. So I'll show you the Bulgarian split squat, I'll give you some cues, I'll show you the difference between these two, and then at the end of this video, I'll show you some progressions starting at like base level 1, progressing up into the Bulgarian split squat. So go ahead, try it out, enjoy.
Okay, let's dive in. I'm first going to take you through the quad dominant Bulgarian split squat. This right here is just a nice trick to find out your perfect stance. We'll sit back on that back foot, and then as long as we have that front leg fully extended, we should be in about the right position that we want to be in. We're going to maintain an upright chest position and focus on sending the front knee forward and stretching the back knee back. On the way up, we're thinking about driving our head straight to the ceiling. We want equal weight distribution on the big toe, the pinky toe, and the heel of this working leg. The first most common mistake that I see is people putting too much weight in their back foot. Oftentimes, one, you'll feel that back leg working more than the front leg, and two, you won't be able to hit that appropriate depth that we're looking for. Instead, we want about an 80-20 split between the front leg and the back leg. The next most common mistake is having too short of a stance. Again, we're going to feel stuck at the bottom like we have nowhere else to go because we kind of don't. And then the other most common mistake is taking too long of a stance. This is going to put too much pressure on that low back. So again, I show you the little trick of finding the perfect stance for you. Now let's take a look at the glute dominant Bulgarian split squat or the hip dominant Bulgarian split squat. Same exact idea applies, all the same cues apply, except now we're focusing on sitting the hip back. Notice the vertical shin position here, as opposed to when we do that quad dominant or knee dominant, the shin position there. In the quad dominant version, we're going to have the knee about over the middle of the shoelaces. In the hip or glute dominant, we're really sitting the hip back and we'll have a more vertical shin position. Now let's get into some progressions. The split squat is a really tough movement, and it's okay to need a couple of stepping stones before we get into it. This first progression is a stationary lunge with some kind of stabilizer. Whether you're using a tall foam roller, a TRX, or a PVC pipe is perfect. The next progression from here is going to be a stationary lunge without our stabilizer, so lose the PVC pipe, foam roller, TRX, whatever you're using. For all of these variations and progressions, all the same cues are going to apply. We want equal weight on the big toe, pinky toe, and heel of the working foot. And remember what we've talked about with lunges before, we want to lunge on train tracks, not a tightrope. If you're confused about this cue, go ahead and watch my barbell step back lunge video. I explain it in depth there. Our next progression will be a step back lunge. Here we're just adding in a little bit more instability, getting ready for that great deal of stabilization that the split squat, the full Bulgarian split squat, requires. Once you've mastered all of these progressions, we're ready to add in the bench. You can also take another step before this and use something a little bit shorter than your bench. You don't need to jump right into this higher bench for that back foot. Again, we're going to use our stabilizer here, whether it is a foam roller, PVC pipe, whatever, holding onto a squat rack, anything to just help stabilize you. Once you feel comfortable and confident here, you are ready for the full split squat. Here I'm showing a quad dominant split squat. Again, I showed that glute dominant earlier on in the video. If this was helpful, follow for more.